Coming up in today's video, Tiz Tom says 651.
651.
Bruno asks if we were salmon.
You guys were salmon too, right?
And I build a very realistic looking sheep. Stupid sheep. Hello and welcome back to another episode of Truly Bedrock Season 3. Today we're going to be expanding our base area, but before we get to that, I chopped some wood. Then I gathered some ores while mining. And then I fortuned all of those ores ready for smelting. And then I did the longest time lapse in the world.
Nice. You lose.
Well, I think that's just about the longest time-lapse that I've ever recorded. And look at this thing. Look how much dripstone has grown. It is unbelievable. I can't wait to check what's in the chest and see how much is in there. This is good news. And if you're wondering how long that time-lapse was, that was 18 hours in total that was recorded for, which is absolutely unbelievable, which is why we've got so much dripstone formed. Now, during that time-lapse, we obviously started with just dripstone over here, and I did keep breaking it and moving it across until we got all the way to the end, and then I just let it run overnight. And this is what we've got. Now, the thing I'm most excited about is to find out exactly how much we've got in here. Wow. 54 pieces. We're rich or not. I think there's probably more out here, which means that this outside area is far more successful than in there. And I don't want to break it. It looks great, but I'm going to have to... I'm going to leave it for a while before I break it. Anyway, moving on. And moving on, of course, means coming back to my book and looking at the things that I need. These are the items and these are the farms. Now, we've kind of got a passive mob farm in the form of our mushroom farm, and we've kind of got a wool farm in the form of our double spider spawner. But can we improve on those? Well, it's going to be very difficult to improve on this mushroom farm. Not necessarily because of the design, but mainly because it's a mushroom farm, and that's the only thing that will spawn in it. There's no way we could convert this to adapt it for other mobs like sheep or goats or anything else. So, yeah, we can't really improve this, but what we could do is build it somewhere else where we could get more passive mobs. But we're not going to build it somewhere else. We are indeed going to fly over to the double spider spawner and see how we could maybe improve that one. So what could we do to improve on the double spider spawners that just happens to be the most clickiest, noisy place in the world? Well, not that much really, because the spawners are fully dark, they've got all of the area around them that they need, so we can't really improve the rates, and with looting 3, we can't really improve the loot, which means we're only going to get the same amount of string no matter what we do to it. However, this is a wool farm, and I'm sure we can do something to generate more wool. And in order to do so, I came up with a genius idea. This single module sheep farm will produce a whopping 12 pieces of wool in 11.5 minutes, which works out at approximately 62 pieces of wool per hour. And compared to our double spider spawner that only generates a minuscule 6.5 stacks of wool per hour, there really is no comparison. Not at all. So I don't feel remotely ridiculous that I've just spent the last half an hour trying to get this sheep down next to our spider spawners so that we can set up a little sheep farm while we're AFK for string. And if you're wondering why this sheep looks a little bit strange, it's because when I was trying to wrangle it, things didn't quite go to plan. You see, in order to get a sheep over here, I had to go a very long way away to find somewhere that a sheep would spawn, and then bring it back all of the way over here. However, unfortunately, over here is very far underground and under a huge frozen ocean. So in order to go down, I needed to go up. And the plan was to climb a mountain with the sheep, jump off the mountain with the sheep, and glide across onto our guardian spawning platform so that I could push the sheep down the water chute into our underground base area and walk it along to the spider spawner. Now that all sounds incredibly easy, but unfortunately it wasn't. It was very difficult, especially because sheep are stupid and annoying and don't like going up and down very easily. Pair that with the fact that it kept getting dark and I didn't have a bed. because I didn't have any wool, because I only had one sheep that kept repeatedly, well, not living anymore. Let's put it that way. Needless to say, I hate sheep. Stupid sheep. Anyway, looking back at the book, it shows that there is very little that we can actually do to improve the mushroom farm or the wool farm, except for build an entire new mushroom farm, not on a mushroom island. So the question now is, where would we build it? We've got the mushroom island over here where we've got the mushroom farm. That doesn't spawn passive mobs like sheep and cows and rabbits and horses. We've got the guardian farm down here, which is an ice biome and an ocean, which also doesn't spawn passive mobs like sheep and cows and rabbits and whatnot. And then we've got this spawn area where we currently are, which is an extreme hills biome, which also doesn't spawn sheep and cows. We go around sticking a giant farm up in the sky over here because this is a community area, and I don't think the other members would be too happy about that. So we need to find somewhere new. Or do we? You see, there are quite a lot of grassy, luscious looking areas around where we've got the Guardian farm. And I'm confident that at least one of these areas should be the sort of area that would spawn the types of mobs that we're looking for. So I've come over to this little flower forest island, which is just about the right size for building a passive mob farm on, and I wanted to know what biome it was, so I used my markers pack, and it says this is a plains biome. So why is nothing spawning? And just to double check the biome, I've put another armor stand down the other end of this thing to check, and would you believe it, while I did that, we got sheep and cows spawning. This is very good news. And with this biome being in eyesight of our fish farm and our guardian farm, it really does seem like the perfect place to be putting in a passive mob farm. However, my slight concern with doing so is that if I did that without Slack, he'll go bananas. So, earmarking that idea for another day, I then went home to see what else we could do. But then suddenly something strange happened, and all of the teams that had taken part in Abba caving for the scoreboard suddenly appeared back together again at the scoreboard.
We are here. This is the scoreboard. Why
Hang on a minute.
Do you guys see the message? I got a message in my face. Yes.
You had a party the other day, I believe, and
Yes.
I don't remember getting my invitation.
No, because you had your own party to attend to, Foxy. It was your birthday too. And you threw a party at your birthday. I didn't know.
Yeah, thanks for that. Really appreciate it. It was nice.
I hope you had a nice birthday, man. But
The
wait,
cake was
your turn.
great. Man, so bad you missed it.
Right.
Yeah, there's a
weird
lamp
message.
on one of the thingies, by the way, guys.
Oh, yes, look
Oh,
at
nice.
that. So someone
It's
has won the
working.
competition.
Well, I assume so. Either that or it's like 5 more lamps until it detonates. I don't know.
There is stuff in the shulkers, but I don't know.
Oh, wait, don't be looking at the
We never seen
shulkers.
this
These
item.
belong to somebody. So truly tokens.
Okay, look. Do we have the results of the competition of the ABBA somewhere already figured out?
Yes.
Man,
Teams, the first game is over for now. Your lives aren't.
that sounds. For
Well,
now,
that's
wait for now.
promising.
Okay.
Take the tokens from your associated pillar. Team 1 left, Team 2 middle, Team 3 right. First place, Team 1. Second place, Team 2.
Losers! Wait, I lost! We lost!
You
So
lost!
it says losing team will not be tolerated. What does that mean? You've got a strike,
Losing
Team
will not
3.
be tolerated.
You are
Oh, dear.
all
Losing-
required back here in 1 week for the next game.
So who got what points
How can
then?
my
Because
fault?
we
Wasn't
got a
there?
really good score, even though I didn't do very well and JCB
Yeah,
did
right.
even worse.
Why are we trusting this book to be able to count?
We got 3,098, which worked out as an average of 774. Not
Oh,
ideal.
what team are you on, Foxy?
Team 2, which is, I mean, clearly
Okay.
didn't win.
Okay, so you got an average of 700 something?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Team 3, what did you get?
We got an average of 651.
Yay, we beat Team
What's
3.
your total?
Total is 3,250.
Wow.
Okay.
players.
Yeah. So Zloy, they don't need to know our scores. It's fine. You know what? We'll
I
let
think
them.
we need
Oh,
to
wait,
know,
what's
guys.
going on here?
I mean, for all we know, this thing could be you.
It is not
So
there.
we
Could be,
have
could
we
be.
have all of these ores right here, basically.
What? How many? What? But did you, only 3 of you went?
It was only 3 people.
Yeah, it's only 3 of us.
We only got
Hey,
2
folks,
oh, 2
over
of those
here,
are
what's
empty.
wrong?
So our team got a total of 4,951 points, with an average of 1,650.3333333333.
That's more than double ours, and we came second. So, are you sure you didn't go for longer than you should have gone for?
Yeah, it was 30 minutes. We went to a mesa. You guys, yeah, we went to a mesa. It was smart.
Hey,
Well-
Foxy, you are from team 2, right? We are
Yes.
from team 1. What happens if team 1 and team 2 decide that they cheated somehow and we just,
32.
you know?
Well, I mean, we could try.
Hey, so because Team 1 got double the score of the other teams, shouldn't we get more points? Team 2 appears to have 32 tokens.
Well, you do.
Well,
You've
we
got
did
twice as
We
many.
did get double the tokens.
Yeah,
Get
exactly
your hands
double
out
the
of
tokens.
my box, mate. This is our team. Get out of
So
here.
what do we do with these tokens?
Sorry,
then? Do we
Jake.
just take these tokens and what do we do with them? Are they mine?
I know how they look.
They look pretty, I'll give you that.
There's 5 of us on our team, and 32 doesn't really
there-
divide by 5. But I notice there's only 3 of us here. And I'm just saying, we don't have to tell the other 2 about it. If I give you 8, and I give you 8 slack, and I reserve
Yes.
8 for potentially other people, you know,
Yes.
I'll keep the 16 for now.
You know, I keep
I'm just
joking
me.
about us committing tax fraud, but here you are doing exactly that.
Well,
Right.
have a nice time, guys. I'll see you next week.
No,
at
no,
whatever
no, wait a
stupid
minute,
game
wait a
we
minute,
have to
come
play
back,
next
come back,
time.
come back. I feel we're missing a quite an essential requirement to the ABBA, Kevin, which is to say that you still owe us all of your ores.
Oh, yeah, we
jeez.
need
I
all of your
thought we'd
guys'
get away with
ores.
that. Oh,
yeah,
man.
yeah.
I don't think you need. Melt it down and then sell it to me, and I'm stupid enough to buy it.
This is gonna make for a great sacrifice to the almighty furnace. I like
Wow.
it.
Wow.
Yeah,
I'm
that's
out of
like
here,
what?
guys. This is ridiculous. See you next week. So, after feeling pretty useless at the meeting, I went home to do some busy work at my base. I started by emptying all of the recently smelted items from the Lonely Furnace, and then I started to dig out a new area at my base, but realizing how slow digging without a beacon is, I went to grab some beacon blocks and put in a beacon. And with that new beacon now in place, giving us full haste too, I was able to dig much more quickly. And dig I did. In fact, I did many diggings, many more than I even planned to do in the first place. And during all of those extra many diggings, I stumbled across an amethyst geode very close to my base. Spurred on by my good fortune, I continued digging and placing torches and fixing now broken tools due to all of the digging. And once I'd done enough digging, I decided it was time to start expanding the base into that freshly dug area. Firstly, by removing some of the jungle logs and cocoa beans that were in the way, and then breaking the existing floor to put in a new one. And with the new floor, it was time to erect new walls and build up the new corridor that I'd created, putting in glass panels to 2 brand new sections that I decided would be for crops. However, crops would need water, which would inevitably go everywhere, washing away all of my carefully placed torches, resulting in many creepers and many monsters spawning in my newly dug out area. After dealing with the monsters and fixing the water issues and replacing the torches, I did some more digging to expand the new crop farm areas, adding in farmland, more water, as well as walls and ceilings. And at this point, it was time to plant the many carrots and potatoes I had lying. I harvested the freshly grown crops and replanted them, completely filling in our now 100% complete base expansion. And I know what you're thinking, what about throwing in a couple? And it looks like I'm missing potatoes somehow, but yeah, I'm not 100% sure whether that's something I should do or not. Because my little base is right under the area which is right next to sport, so having excessive amounts of entities and redly selfish with it. And you wouldn't be wrong in thinking that I'd already done quite a lot of redstone-y farmy things. In fact, in the last video we added in a ridiculous number of pistons and observers. However, these particular pistons on observers only fire once every few hours. Because this is a dripstone farm that doesn't produce very quickly. In fact, this has been here now for about 4 days and has only produced us a stack and a half of dripstone, which means that these observers and these pistons have only actually activated about 98 times in 4 days, which is only me and Mr. Beardstone online. And likewise, my stone and moss generator also requires me to be here, and it's not something that I would leave running while I'm AFK, and it's only something I would use while there's only me and a couple of other people on the server. So yeah, I probably would get away with putting a couple of villagers down here, one for gathering potatoes and one for gathering carrots and one to be in the middle somewhere to collect them all. And then there's all of the redstone to consider as well for the collection system, but again, it's probably not all that much. So I think it definitely is something that I will consider for the future, maybe even a bit later on in today's video. I'm not 100% sure what I'm going to be doing after this point. All I know is that right now, I'm finally going to smash down all of this pointed dripstone that's been growing. And all of that now collected adds up to 4 1/4 stacks of pointed dripstone, which will make us 67 dripstone blocks. Jeez, it's not very many, is it, for all of that time having been growing? And if we add that to these we've collected here as well, man, we've got nearly 6 stacks of pointed dripstone. Am I rich? I'm not sure. What I am sure of, however, is that I can now finish off adding all of these in here and get this thing growing to its full potential. And there we go, that's the whole lot in there now. Many, many water particles falling down from the ceiling, and that should give us a whole bunch more next time that we harvest it. Anyway, on with the video. And into creative, on a creative copy of the Truly Bedrock server. And I wanted to see if this thing's going to work. Now you can see that one of the villagers keeps changing profession. I've already had to make some substantial changes to the area, getting rid of all of the workstations nearby to make sure these guys did become farmers. And it seems to be going okay. Although I'll be interested to see how many carrots and potatoes we've got in the chest after this short test. And after a couple of minutes of 20 times real speed in the chest, you can see we have a lot of carrots and potatoes. There was nothing in there before. This is all brand new. There were a lot of carrots and potatoes in there. So this thing works, but let's look at some of the things I've had to change in order to make it work. First of all, in my main area, I've had to get rid of the lectern, the grindstone, and the stone cutter from here in order to get them to connect, because they'd rather connect with these all the way over here. And then just down the stairs from that, there is a brewing stand, which I had to get rid of to stop them connecting with that. And to give you some idea of reference for how far everything is away from each other in the base, this is my main area here. Down the stairs is where the brewing stand is, and then right round the back, through here, round the corner and over here is where the farmers are. Now you can see they've all decided to be farmers now that I put all of those things back, but I did have to break them all first, and this one still keeps connecting with something else, becoming a different villager. So yeah, while it looks like this thing could work, I'm not convinced that it's going to be particularly reliable, considering we have a librarian here again instead of a farmer. And I know it's an easy fix because I could just go round and break all of the things again and force them to connect to the right things, but then that means I can't have the useful workstations that I need and I use regularly in this area, which means I'd then have to move to another area to actually use as my base. So while I am really tempted to do this, I'm not convinced it's the best idea. And look, the one on the right now has become a different type of village. Oh, and now he's a farmer again. They just can't make their minds up, can they? Villagers are so broken. So yeah, for now on the actual Truly Bedrock server, I think I'm just going to keep these as manual farms and we'll leave villagers for another time and another place. So on that note, after only 6,128 days in game, it is unfortunately time to end, and I hope you have enjoyed this video. If you did, please do leave a like. If you haven't already, please do consider subscribing, and hopefully I'll see you all in the next one. Goodbye.